Hey everyone, it's Rambling Hour with Lisa, season 19, episode 11. We are almost done season 19. I've been uploading them to YouTube and I cannot believe that we're on season, there's so many good episodes and everything. So you may be wondering what's going on here. This is not my Halloween special that I said I was going to do. I will explain that in a few minutes. And then you might also wonder, where the heck am I? It looks like some of my belongings in the background, but where am I? I am, oh, you can't see the cat when I'm sitting here. Woo, kitty cat from I've had him for a few years. His eyes glow. So you can leave his eyes on if you want. Where have I don't want them too bright there. So where have I been? Okay, I don't know where to start. Why am I not doing my special? Okay, so the last few weeks when I've done my Halloween things, I've been very unorganized and got things ready at the last minute, and everything went fine, and that was great. Today, I've been trying to be inspired and figure out what I wanted to do for my Halloween special this year, what characters I wanted to play and what I wanted it to be about and everything else, but I just could not come up with anything. And then last night and then especially today, I'm just on down days, and I just have to be honest with you guys that, having a regular rambling hour like this is better than having a really shit Halloween special where I'm just not into it or feeling it. I just couldn't do it. And I want to be honest with you guys that, I do have down days, and that's okay. And I'm allowed to change my mind, and that's okay too. I'm still here. I still have things planned for today, but I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't do the special Rambling Hour Halloween special. But saying that, I have uploaded 2 out of the 3 of them, and I'll be, all right. Have I uploaded all 3? Anyways, on YouTube, I've put 15 seasons up already, and we're on season 19 right now. So I'm pretty sure all of my 3 Rambling Hour specials, Halloween specials, have been up. So I'll put them in the comments on here, even though this will only be on Facebook for 30 days. Within these 30 days that this one is up on Facebook, I'm absolutely going to be caught up with them on YouTube. So people will be able to watch them. So you may even be watching this on YouTube right now. So what else do I want to tell you guys? I'm not the only person who's dealt with loss in life. And I know you guys know that I've been talking about ghosts and people passing away and all this stuff the whole time you've known me. But oh, and I also heard that too, if when you put stuff on YouTube, you're not allowed to say certain words and stuff like that. I don't know, death, dying, stuff like that. Who knows? I haven't had any of my videos flagged yet, but oh my gosh, how am I supposed to talk about things if I'm not allowed to put stuff like that up, especially if we're doing death positivity or, end of life plans or something. Anyways, I'm not the only person who's dealt with loss, but we all deal with loss differently, and it hits us in different ways. Even the loss of a pet can affect a person drastically. My brother, if you don't know what I'm talking about, my brother passed away in April, which is only 6 months ago, and yesterday, October 25th, so he died April 25th, so it's 6 months literally. The last few days have just been hard days, and I don't know why specifically. I just keep thinking about him in my dreams, not in a way where he's visiting necessarily, but in a way where having his funeral, not the actual funeral that we had, but having a different one in my dreams, planning things, or just the fact that he's gone, or just, I don't know, and then waking up and then moping around in my days, just feeling sorry for myself and feeling sorry for the loss of the life that I believe he could have had if he got to stay. But then I started telling myself about how worse some other people have it, and how some people, the loss in their lives, they have to lose. Some people live in places where there's so much fighting and chaos that dying young or losing loved ones in your family is just commonplace. So who am I to feel sorry for myself when I've only lost one person, and for the most part our family's like healthy and good, and you know, I don't have to deal with loss all the time like that. But it doesn't make it any easier. And like I said, I don't know why it's been hard the last few days. I think that's part of the thing about today. It's hard too because my brother's wife, her birthday's right before Halloween, and Halloween is one of her favorite times of the year, as it is mine. But I have a feeling that she's gonna be similar to how I feel. It just like not having my brother doesn't affect my Halloween, because it wasn't like something that him and I like did together or anything like that. But it's just sometimes it's hard to have the good days and the great things when you're sad. So I do still have things planned for today. I'm just not doing the big Halloween special, but I have things that I'm going to show you guys and talk about, and it'll be like a normal rambling hour, but with a Halloween style theme, or Samhain if you are pagan, or anything that celebrates the pagan holidays like Samhain. So yeah, so hey, how are you guys? What's up with you guys? It is just a down day and for me, and as I made my post today, my my daily affirmation, it's that I'm, what did I say, calm and patient on my down days. I've told you guys before that having down days when you have depression is like having the flu. I can try and force myself to get happy or get, you know, whatever. You can, if you have the flu, you can't force yourself better. You know it's not going to last forever. You know it's going to last a couple days. You just have to be patient and calm and get through it. So that's what down days are like. You don't know when they're going to hit. You don't know why necessarily they're going to hit. It's just one of those days where I wish I was inspired. I wish I felt good. I hate the feeling that I have today, but I know it's just a down day and it'll pass. So I'm going to try and make the best of it. I have still been productive today, working on uploading videos to YouTube and stuff like that, my old rambling hours. So I have been productive, even if only sitting in one spot on the couch. But I did shower today too, and I got ready for this. So, oh, and by the way, this cabinet behind us, it was, okay, so the thing is, dining room, I didn't like the sideboard that we had that matched the old dining room table and chairs, and seeing we got a new table and chairs, the sideboard, if we sell or give away the old dining room table and chairs, the sideboard, it goes with it. So yay to that, getting that out of here, because it wasn't my style. But saying that, we needed something over here, and I didn't want just a sideboard. I wanted like a china cabinet, because we need to get rid of the guest house, like the caravan. We need to get rid of that so we can build the garage. So in order to get rid of that, I need to pack everything up that's in it. And some of the things that were in it, there is like an old china cabinet that we used to have in here that I put up there. And it had all my crystal and like drinking glasses and everything else. And so I wanted like a china cabinet, like with glass doors or something, to have all my glasses in. And I haven't totally decked this out yet, but I'll just scooch you up so you can see that I did put glasses up there. So it looks nice. And the lights are up there. There's not light down in these ones because that's a glass shelf. And then these are like wood shelves, so you don't see it as much. But let me tell you about this stand behind me, and then it's got cupboards on the bottom and drawers. This stand was on Marketplace and it said £10. And I was like, I messaged them. Melody says, hi Lisa, hi Melody. I messaged them and I said, oh, is this still, okay, so if I see something that one of us wants, like me or Steve, the first thing I do is message saying, is this still available? Even if we end up saying, oh no, it's okay, we don't want it, I just say, is this still available? Because there's no point in talking about it or doing anything if it's not available anymore. So I did that. It was still available. And then I said, well, how much do you want for it? Because it said £10, but sometimes they put a price on there and that's not really what they mean. But they're like £10, we just want it gone. And I was like, what? So even though it's not the, oh, sorry, kitty cat. Even though it's not the color of wood that goes with our oak and stuff in here, for £10, I had to get Steve's boys to go get it with the van. So it's obviously 2 pieces. And yeah, so £10, like literally 10, that's like, think about $10 in Canada. Like, I had to get it. So that's awesome. They just wanted it gone because the 85 or 86-year-old lady who lived there before moved closer to her daughter. So the people who either are related to her or bought the house or whatever the story is, they wanted it gone, so I got it gone for them. And that's how this came to be. So this is in my house. It is in the dining room. This is the one of the end. I don't remember what these chairs are called. There's a name for these ones that have the arms. So this table and chairs comes with 2 of these like armchairs on the ends, and then the other 4 chairs don't have arms. Yeah, no, there is a name for them, but it's not coming to me. So that's where I am and why there's this cabinet behind me. And then I just shoved some of my, you know, Halloween-y or witchy things in it to make it look better for today. You might be wondering what this is back here, and I didn't even think about the fact that this is here. I don't even really drink, but I picked this up because I think it might be nice. It's called Bailey Castle Limited Edition Pumpkin Spice Flavor Country Cream. So I'm guessing it's like Bailey's Irish Cream, but pumpkin spice. So I want to try that. That's what that's doing there. And if not, it's just a nice bottle for autumn decorations. This is a candle I got for my birthday from Allison. It's called I Am an Autumn Gilmore Girls. I'm not really bothered about Gilmore Girls, but it's really pretty. I like how that shined. So that's up there. But I have like so much stuff on the table in front of me to show you guys. Let me have a sip of my drink and we will get going. I don't know how to put the you know, because I want, it doesn't matter if my whole hat's not in it, but I only really want these 2 shelves. I don't want the stuff up there, even though it's there. But you might have saw when I showed you the top shelf that there was like 2 paintings of Steve's and there's like 1 missing. That's because I thought you guys might like to see this. My latest painting with books. And it just like, there was one that my art teacher did where it looked like magic was pouring out of the book. So I literally wrote magic and made it look like magic was pouring out of these books because of the way she did hers. But the cool thing about this that you can't tell necessarily is that this right here, there's like so much paint on it. And then even this brown one, I put so much paint on it now that you don't really see it as much. But I guess you could probably, so do you see those 3, you can see pattern on those? That's because hang on, I know this word. The spine of the books are actually pattern paper from my scrapbooking stuff. So we drew freehand the books, which when they're stacked all wonky like this is more difficult than you would think. And I was like, couldn't be bothered with if they looked wonky or not. So like this one looks really small. I just didn't want to spend too much time fussing about on that in class. But then we put scrapbooking paper on the ends, and then we either tried to match the color of what would be the cover or the back to the scrapbooking paper, or did a complete different color or whatever you wanted. And then we used brush show up here. But yeah, so I'm really happy with this. I'm like excited about it. And then I just thought I'd write magic there, and I put a K on the end because that's the way that people who like witches and warlocks and such, they spell it with a K just to differentiate it between magic like that illusionists do, like tricks and magic, that kind of stuff. So that is one of the things on this table of wonders. And I'll show you some more. This is one cup that you guys have seen before. A little bit of magic. And let me just take my hair down too, because I had it half up for drying purposes, because then my curls get better. So when after the first half is dry, then I can take this top half down and then it dries on top. It gives me more volume. So this is still wet right now, but my hair just looks so skinny and it's already thin enough compared to what it used to be, let alone if half of it is up there. That should look better. Okay, so, and I had this new microphone that Steve bought me and I was going to try it. But then I realized that the little bit that sticks into the bottom, he even asked me, do you need to charge that bit? And I said, no, it just works off the phone. You just stick it in the bottom of the phone, because that's how my other one was. But then I noticed it has a little side thing that I guess you do need to charge it. So can't use that today. However, I'm really close to my phone anyways today, so the sound should be good. Where to begin? Okay, so Steve bought some things from Temu for me because he spoils me. So I'll show you some of the things Steve bought for me. These are just little little ghosts and things that he bought from Temu. and he's getting as bad as me with junk. But this one, the little thing comes off. So he just bought me some little ghosts. They're just little ghosts. They don't do, oh, that one has a hole in the bottom. I guess you could put a light in there or something, but they're not, they don't do anything specific, but they're really cute. What else is on my table? So sticking with the Steve thing, my birthday was on the 21st, if you did or did not know. And so these are some of the, I love my husband for many reasons, but one of the reasons that I love him is that he, no matter what weird hobbies or interests or things that I'm into, even if he's not into them or thinks I'm weird for them, he always supports them. So he knows that, you know, I've been on this witchy thing for a few years now. He got me a book called The Herbal Apothecary. And so I haven't read this yet, but the weird thing is that he was just saying how we have so many books here. And I said, but you like your books on display. And he's like, well, I don't need them all on display and blah, 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 like about getting rid of books or whatever. And then he buys me a book for another book for my birthday. Anyways, then this is such a beautiful journal. And not only does it like look nice with the moth on the outside, sorry, Melody, who's afraid of moths, but it's like that homemade type paper inside. So really, really cool. Really lucky to have the husband that I have when he spoils me. And obviously I like practical gifts. So I don't think I showed it to you guys. I don't even think I took a picture of it, but I'll wheel it over here. Give me 1 second because it's not small. Well, I did take a picture of all my gifts together. I just haven't posted it yet. Oh, sorry. It's big and heavy and was pushing my light. So in art class, because we do mixed media in art, there's so many different like types of art and stuff that we do that we need different anyways, we bring a lot of different things. Like say, for example, this is how I have my watercolors, right? So you see the watercolors on top, and then my watercolor pencils are on the bottom. And then if we need pastels, Conte, chalk, charcoal. So it's got the oil pastels and the chalk pastels. Then on the bottom I have the blenders and the, yeah, all the stuff like charcoal and everything else. So if we need things like this and we need to bring a lot of different tools, we just ended up bringing like so many grocery bags full of stuff. But Steve bought me this. It's actually for makeup. I'll use my chair to put it on. It's actually for makeup. We looked at a few different ones, but this is the one that we decided on. And I'll show you why we love it. It does have 2 wheels that lock. The top opens, tilt you up just a little bit. The top opens like this, so it's got like this whole compartment and it's a little bit wider to put things in here for the stuff that doesn't fit in the drawers. But every compartment locks, like there's actual little locks on it. And then, so I have different drawers with different materials in. Different paints and things in there. This one has like, because it's for our makeup, they have like these things that you can put in where you can take out these squares or the circles. So I have the Brusho that we use. I'm just going to tilt it a little bit more so you can see the square ones. And then another drawer on the bottom. But the bottom drawer is coolest because it has a foot underneath it that comes down so that when it's on the ground, it has that support so that it doesn't tip forward if you have all your drawers open. So that is one of my birthday gifts that I'm most excited about. So I thought I would show you guys. So Melody said before about, very nice. That looks so cool besides the moth. That was about my book. And Melody says that's huge regarding this makeup painting container. So, oh, I thought I put it past you guys, but I didn't. There. Oh, that was work. Let me sit down and get you guys back with me. And somebody's at the front door, but I don't know if somebody answered that or not. Just give me a second. Oh, that's it? Okay. Okay, thank you. Aurora! Here by the door. Sorry, it was just a delivery from a friend of Aurora's for her and her friend Kaylee. So anyways, let's go on with other things on the table. My birthday, the journal. Okay, so stuff from Steve. All right, I have this over here too. I didn't set it up, but it's that Halloween thing that is like a book that I've had. I'll put it back here on my last few lives. All right, I'm going to go over the books that I've read as well. So let's do cards. So I do the Seasons of the Witch, and this is the Samhain one that, like I'm trying to get the 8 different seasons of the pagan wheel of the year. It's funny, I've been listening back to my old lives too, and there's terms that I didn't know or couldn't remember, or things like I called ayahuasca, the like medicinal plant stuff that they make a drink out of it and take ayahuasca to have like a trip to, for therapeutic purposes or whatever. Anyways, but I was calling it ayahuasca. I was calling it something else, and just things that I didn't know before. And then now I know these terms, but when I go back and I'm like, is that what it's called? And it's funny how much I've learned in the last couple of years. Just with you guys. I don't have my mommy here to pull a card, but again, it comes with a book that will tell you about all the cards, or you can interpret them for yourself. And these ones have this on the back. So let's pull a card for Samhain, which is where Halloween gets its origins. Samhain, depending on how you pronounce it. So card is Haunted. Oh, I need my glasses. The breaking of the floor beneath your naked feet, the creaking of the walls as the cold kisses flesh. You're never really alone when in the company of hauntings within bone. That reminds me, so the other morning, in my dreams, I kept telling people that I'm still sad about my brother. I'm still sad about my brother. I know I could say I miss my brother, but I didn't get to see him that much living all the way over here anyways. But, I mean, and it's okay that I'm still sad about my brother, but and then so I woke up feeling that sadness that I was feeling in my dreams. And in my head, I heard a lyric from a song saying, "You're not alone." And then I knew this song. I've heard it before, but I didn't know what it was called or any more of the lyrics. And so I looked it up. And the next line is, and you guys will have heard this, it's on a car commercial too or something. It says, "You're not alone. I'll wait till the ends of time for you. You're not alone." And I can't remember exactly what it says, but the lyrics are perfectly from my brother, I believe. And also there is a version by Olive. I don't know who the original singer is, so if you look up the song by Olive, but then there's another version of it by somebody else, another girl's name, not Angelia or something, but I like the second version better because it's slower, so it's more like sad for me. But the one by Olive is a little bit more upbeat and a bit more dancey, which is good too, but that's just what that card reminded me of, is that I'm never alone. I know that he's around me, I know that, but it doesn't make it easier. I mean, it does in a way, and it doesn't. I just feel sad because I know that it was his time and everything, but it's sad for me that, like, even when I was listening to music then, when I was going shopping on Saturday, like grocery shopping, because I didn't go on Tuesday, because Tuesday is my birthday, I was listening to music really loud, and as I was wearing headphones walking into the store, I could just feel the wind and the breeze and, like, all these things that when you're not living in a human body in a physical field like this that you don't feel the physical things like that, or hugging people or anything like that. Oh, I forgot to show you guys these ones. These ones are called Lost Oracle by Fiona Horn. Ancient wisdom to find your way in a modern world. So let's pull a card. Again, comes with a book. I mean, nowadays it's pretty easy to get Oracle cards printed. Still costs money, you know, and well, like if you sell enough, then you get that money back. But to get them printed and to get the, you know, and then have all the artwork. So Steve and Jackie had this artist do a bunch of, they were doing a tarot deck, and they had an artist who they commissioned to do all the different cards. And they liked each one and everything else. But then at the time, it was way harder to get your decks of cards printed and stuff, and it just fell through. And then the artist needed to sell the work to, you know, for her own sake. So those ones became unavailable now. So Jackie and Steve don't have their own. But Allison's been working on some of the, like the cards for Steve. These are really thick. Oh, no, they're not. They're just stuck together. Ha! They look like they're thick, but there is normal as another deck. I think probably, how many cards are there? 36 cards and a guidebook. Steeped in ancient wisdom, Lost Oracle is a source of solace, a sanctuary of a roadmap for those seeking harmony in the chaotic world. It is an unwavering light shining on an uncertain future. This insight deck from the renowned witch, Fiona Horn, will help you understand and manage the forces around you and within you. Let Lost Oracle guide you to a place where you feel found. I was talking to somebody on video chat in the last week or two, and we were talking about like the witchy stuff and everything, and like how both of us feel like, you know, even being nature-based or being lots of these different things, you can feel like a witch, but it doesn't mean that you're drawn to doing spells or to do rituals and everything else. Like you know, don't feel, if you're into this kind of stuff or you want to learn about it, go ahead. Don't feel like you have to live a certain way to be that. Like I'm Catholic. I'm not practicing Catholic, but I am Catholic. I was raised Catholic. I was baptized. I am Catholic, but I don't do any of the rituals and things like that that I was raised with. It doesn't make me any less Catholic. It just means I'm not a practicing Catholic, but it doesn't mean I'm not a practicing witch. I just mean that you don't have to do, okay, rituals are anything that you do regularly anyways, even like brushing your teeth is a ritual. But, and then spells is anything that we speak. Even me saying in the mirror to myself, I love you, Lisa. That's basically a spell. Everything that comes out of our mouth, our words have power. So it doesn't have to be what you think it is. And you don't, all witches don't wear black. I love colorful clothes and everything else. So don't feel like it has to be a certain way if you're interested in this kind of stuff. And Zena says, you look pretty tonight. I love those glasses too. Thank you. These ones are like ready to break. I mean, they're just cheap ones, but I know they're, because I put them in my hair all the time and everything else. That's why I buy the cheap ones. They're on their way out, but I'll wear them until I do. Okay, so cards. Ready? For spaghetti. Oh, I like some of these. I'm just going to turn them around. I like the drawings on them. So let's go this way again. And okay. Again, goggles. This Stang. Ride Between the Realms. 17, my favorite number. Get hair out of the face. Yeah, 17 is my favorite number. Ride Between the Realms. Oh, I forgot that we could do the other one too. We'll look up in the book what it means as well, like we did when my mom was here. So Lost Oracle, the Stang, S-T-A-N-G. Ride Between the Realms. The Stang is a forked staff that channels the primal and powerful energies of the old ways of witchcraft. It serves as a bridge between worlds, symbolically used to ride between the realms of existence, is a symbol of the horned god and a tool for directing energy toward deep transformation. The masculine has been debased in modern society to become something that is not sustainable. When the wise crone rides the Stang, she helps guide the masculine home again to a place of deep purpose and place. where strength is constructive and used to help and hold up and not destroy. Like the wise crone, you too have the power to navigate the patriarchal world's conflicting messages and challenging detours with grace, purpose, and a deep connection to the pure primal forces that shape sustainable existence. When you draw this card, it is an invitation to bridge the masculine and feminine and gain deeper insight into your life's purpose. The wise crone steps off and hands you the stang. What do you feel drawn to doing? To wield it over your head like a potent, powerful staff or magical and staff of magic and conjure a new reality, or climb atop it to ride between the realms and gain guidance as to what the new reality could or should be. In ancient traditions and spiritual practices, the masculine was revered for its ability to provide direction, protection, and support. The stang is a symbol of this masculine energy, and by reclaiming its positive aspects, we can create a more balanced and harmonious world. We can learn to use our strength and power in ways that are constructive and supportive, and we can work together to create a society that values compassion, kindness, and understanding. The stang is a reminder that nature is a sacred conduit, a bridge to the spirit world, and your ancestors wish to guide you. In the realm of sleep, the boundaries between the worlds blur, and the subconscious becomes a canvas upon which they paint visions and symbols laden with significance. Keep a dream journal and record these visions and symbols. They will be useful keys to unlock the mysteries of your path. It is important to note that in the modern age, the masculine and feminine energies are not limited to gender identities. Everyone has access to both energies and can embody them in different and unique ways. By understanding and respecting these energies and how they manifest in the modern human, we can create a more accepting and compassionate world for all. I agree with that too. And if we talk about the masculine and feminine, we all have both parts to us. And there's a lot about me that's way more masculine than feminine. But that does not mean I identify as anything but woman. But the masculine and feminine is not the same as your gender identity. So that did resonate with me for many reasons. And the thing about dreams too. Oh, and ancestors. We've talked about it where I was talking more to my ancestors or wanting to know more about my ancestors. And what are the chances that somebody messages me about that I added a picture of their great grandpa. Their great grandpa and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, okay, that's my great grandpa. So it turns out that this lady is, my dad's dad, Bill, has his old, I don't know if he's older than her or not, but the eldest sister, Ellen, how many kids? There was 4 girls and 2 boys, I think, in that family. So Ellen's the oldest girl, and she had babies. One being a boy named Keith, and Keith had his daughter, and I don't know actually her actual name, but it says Keitha, like Keith with an A on the end, Keitha. So I'm not sure if she's named after her dad and her name is Keitha, or if she just has that on her Facebook and she has a different name. I haven't asked her what her name is. Anyways, so her dad, Keith, and my dad, Lloyd, would be first cousins. And so I'm not young, but I'm 47, but she's in her 60s because Ellen was older than my granddad and I was born way later and all that, right? So anyways, what I'm saying is it's crazy how I've talked about ancestors and blah, blah, blah. And then there's these, I talked about my mom having a little brother that she didn't know she had, that my grandma gave away a baby that none of us knew about. And then this other cousin, and she didn't even find me on Ancestry, even though I'm doing the Ancestry stuff too. And it's funny how as soon as I wanted to know more about ancestors and work with them more, all this stuff starts coming. That's how the universe works. So let's read what the other card means but then you got to think about too, if I was doing a card pull for myself today without you guys being here, then that card would be specifically for me. However, the universe knows what we're doing, and it knows that I'm talking to you guys right now and those of you who are watching this in the future, and it'll direct you to things that you need at that time. So if you're seeing this, then these cards probably reflect in your life right now too, for some reason, whatever you feel that you're getting from them. So remember, my card in the Seasons of the Witch deck was Haunted. So we'll look up what haunted means. And again, you don't have to use the book, but that stang, I never even heard of a stang before. So I'm glad that I read that because I even learning what a stang was. So it's number 20. Oh, so 17 is my favorite number. And that's what the card was in the Lost Oracle. And the card for haunted is 21, which is my birthday, which I just had. So I'll take the card out again and show you guys. 21. So usually in the book, they go in order. Yeah, I did read the bottom of that. They go in order. So 21, 4, 12, 21, haunted. Keywords: atonement, company, the breaking of the floors beneath your naked feet, the creaking of the walls as the cold kisses flesh. You're never really alone when in the company of hauntings within bone. Okay, the definition of a poltergeist is an unknown spirit that causes disturbances such as loud noise or moving furniture. In fact, the word poltergeist is German and means noisy spirit. Originally, poltergeists were thought to be demons who played tricks, focused their attention on one specific person. However, theories surrounding the origins of poltergeist disturbances have changed. Many believe poltergeists to be a manifestation of an individual's troubled psyche, as disturbances generally focus on one person. The person is usually in some kind of pain or trauma, either from things done to them or things they've done to others. The poltergeist becomes a physical representation of the pain that has been locked away and left to fester. Eventually, that pain becomes too much for the person to hold, and a poltergeist is born, bringing with it a terrifying display of what was hidden. You have pulled the haunted card because there is something that you must atone for. You've locked something away, choosing to ignore it rather than own up to your mistake. This can be something you have done to someone else, but also something you feel you've done to yourself. Perhaps a choice you'd like to forget, or even a trauma that you never dealt with. Whatever your situation, know that your hauntings will continue until you are ready to face the monster your pain has created. This is especially true if you have also pulled the card, Greet the Darkness. And then reversed. Some people will take a card, and if you pull it and it's upside down, then they believe what the reversed says. I don't even know how I pulled that card if it was reversed, but I'll just read it to you for the purpose of reading it to you guys. But again, you can go by what the book says or go by what you feel that card says. And then when you're reading cards and stuff like that, you just look at the actual card and you use, whether you believe in it or not, you're connected to spirit and they help you decipher what you're, maybe reading it right now, I see the hand trying to reach the person. And maybe for me, that's my ancestors trying to reach me when I'm not like opened up to it. Or maybe next time I look at it and I see that there's tears coming down her face and, like that's a sadness, or there's different things that you'll be drawn to, or the color yellow in the background. Like when you read cards, there's things that the spirit will help guide you to, and that's part of reading cards. So reversed, reversed. When haunted is in reverse, be warned of the company that you keep. Are you holding on to a victim mentality? Yes, I am. Feeling sorry for myself. Are you allowing your demons to be harnessed for feelings of pity and sympathy? Well, not sympathy, but yes, pity. You may not even be conscious of this. Victimization is almost always a defense mechanism, a way to control the amount of hurt and pain you feel. But we all know what happens when you cry wolf too many times. Be sure your hauntings are real and not a ploy to play the damsel in distress. I hear ya. I'm not doing that, but yes, I am. I do know that the feeling sorry, like with being sad about my brother, is about feeling sorry for myself and what I don't have, not about the adventure he's on. It's about poor me. So, okay, so that's the cards. Now, let me take a sip of my drink and we'll keep talking about the other stuff I have on this big fat table. Okay. I know I was late starting anyways, but books, and more books. I told you guys that I started listening to books again. I haven't really listened to any this week, but, oh yeah, maybe I did at the beginning of the week, but I need to take some pictures of more books. So, the first, I'm going to just go in order of what's on the top of here. Yes, this is the first one I listened to actually anyway, so When I was in Canada, I went to the, Aboriginal Role Models of Alberta Awards with my friend Roberta because she was receiving an award. And I'm sitting right next to her at her table. It was half of them were co-workers and half of them were her friends. And so right next to me were like two of her best friends. And then, but the one right next to me, Naomi, she told me about, we were talking about our history and grandparents and stuff. And then, and she said that her great-grandfather wrote a book. And I was like, oh, really? That's so cool. So her last name is the same as this, Erasmus. And so the Peter Erasmus, this is his book, Buffalo Days and Nights. It's his stories, but collaborated, like put together by someone else, but it's still his stories out of his mouth. But Peter Erasmus was born in 1833. That's so cool. But not only was he born in 1833, this book is talking about where I'm from, Edmonton, Alberta, and other places around there. And in 1833, so when it was like settlements and Fort Edmonton, and it's just bizarre and so cool to hear the history of that time period on the prairies, but then even specifically where I grew up and things that happened there in that time. Again, it's only one person's account of those things, but even, okay, you know, I love journals anyways and everything else like that. But and it's so cool because I told you guys, like my friend Samantha, I read her great uncle's or something book about when he was in the Scouts and he went to like Australia and then into Asia and stuff like that with the Scouts, with an expedition with 5 of them or something. That was really cool. And then Steve's uncle David, Steve's dad's brother, Uncle David, he wrote a book, and it was his time in the Navy, and that was pretty cool, learning about that and everything else. So reading about this, and especially the time period in the 1800s, it was really, really cool. So I'm going to read the synopsis on the back. Born in 1833, Peter Erasmus was a colorful and important character in the events that marked Western Canada's transformation from the open buffalo plains of Rupert's Land into town sites and farmsteads. He was a remarkable and highly educated man, fluent in 6 native languages as well as English, Latin, and Greek, and respected by native peoples, white settlers, and explorers. Trained by the church for missionary work, Erasmus instead became one of the mixed blood guides of interpreters who helped shape the Canadian West. His long career as a celebrated buffalo hunter, mission worker, teacher, trader, and interpreter made him a legend in his own time. His involvement in such events as the Palliser expedition, the smallpox epidemic of the 1870s, the signing of Treaty Number 6, and the last big buffalo hunt has ensured his place in history long after his death at the age of 97. Buffalo Days and Nights is a lively and fascinating account of his experiences. First assembled with the help of Henry Thompson, an Edmonton reporter in the 1920s, it is a classic in Western Canadian history that offers an insider's view into the events that surrounded the start of a new era. Yeah, I can't even tell you. Oh, the front cover painting, The Prairies in Flower by Clarence Tillenius, courtesy the Loch Mayberry Gallery, Winnipeg, Manitoba. Cover design by John Luckhurst, GDL, printed and bound in Canada. So I'm going to do the picture thing without the glare. I really liked it. It started out like just exactly how I thought it was, and then it wasn't exactly what I thought it would be like. I was hoping it was like more like I thought it was like stories, like you were like sitting there and listening to stories of like this and this and this, but it was more like chronological of his whole life and the journey that he took. But he was an interpreter. He had to do a lot of different things and go to different places, especially because he was trusted and he showed that he was trustworthy and respected and everything else. So they wanted him to go to a lot of places to do these things, especially because he spoke so many languages as well. But it was just bizarre to hear about the Blackfoot being aggressive and scalping people, or the fact that white people were killing all the buffaloes on purpose, and bison actually. But it was crazy, bizarre, and sad, and just to know that you're just riding your horse and then you see a bunch of people who have been killed, and the time period. And then here's me feeling sorry because I lost my brother. But imagine when your whole tribe has been wiped out or something like it's just, it was crazy. But I really, really enjoyed it. So, Naomi, I don't know if you're watching or not, but I will tell you later that I did read it, and that is my review of it. But I really, really liked it. So anybody who's interested in that kind of stuff, you can find it online. I got it off Amazon, and I got it delivered to my mom's house when I was still in Canada. But also, again, Alberta history and Canadian history for that matter. My left ear is ringing, and for Steve, like that's called like a download where you're getting like subconscious information put into your head. Left coming in, right going out. So like even if your hand gets itchy, they say like if your left palm gets itchy, it means that money's coming to you, and if your right palm gets itchy, then money's going out. I think that's all correct, but okay, so the next one, again, is somebody that I know who's contributed to this. It's called A Journey of Riches, Whispers of the Heart, Reflections of Healing, Hope, and Soul-Led Wisdom. I guess it's a series. I'm not sure how many books are in the series, but it's short stories written by real people and their experiences. The person that I know in this book is my ex-husband, Michael's cousin. So, but she's older than him as well. So Ada. So well, no, sorry, it's my ex-husband's cousin's ex-wife. But anyways, that's how I know her. It's family of my daughters. So, but Ada's an amazing lady. It's amazing to see the progress that the whole time I've known her to who she is now, even though she's just a little bit older than me. But and then to read her story in here is even more like, oh my God, like you never know what somebody's gone through and why it might take them a little bit longer to find themselves. And some people don't ever find and support themselves and give themselves the self-love that they deserve. But I'm really glad that she did. I'm really glad that I had this book, and it's got so many inspiring stories in it. And it says Whispers of the Heart, and it's interesting because most of the stories have to do with the heart. Like even one of them talks about the heart chakra. It's not all about that kind of woo-woo stuff, but it is, each one has to do with the heart, I think. Like that's the theme. But it's just an inspirational book that anybody can enjoy. I'm going to read you the back. A Journey of Riches, Whispers of the Heart, Reflections of Healing, Hope, and Soul-Led Wisdom. Every heart carries a whisper, gentle, persistent, and true. Yet in the noise of the world, we often forget to listen. Whispers of the Heart brings together the voices of 15 inspiring authors from around the globe, each offering a unique and deeply personal reflection on love, resilience, healing, and the quiet wisdom within. Their stories illuminate the tender yet transformative journey of learning to trust your heart's guidance, even when the path ahead feels uncertain. From overcoming adversity and breaking free from self-doubt to rediscovering self-worth and embracing the beauty of vulnerability, these chapters are woven with courage, authenticity, and grace. Together they form a tapestry of healing wisdom, one that reminds us that the heart is not loud or demanding, but a steady presence leading us home to ourselves. This anthology is an invitation to pause, to breathe, and to listen, to recognize the whispers within you, the ones urging you to forgive, to love more deeply, to trust your intuition, and to step boldly into the truth of who you are. Whether you are navigating change, seeking comfort, or longing for inspiration, Whispers of the Heart will meet you where you are. These pages offer hope in times of struggle, clarity in moments of doubt, and gentle encouragement to walk your journey with faith and compassion. Let the whispers of these 15 voices awaken the quiet voice within you, because when you truly listen, you will discover that your heart has always known the way. I just like how there's a heart on there, and then there's feathers. And then these are the authors at the bottom, and I like how they did that too. And Ada is right there. Okay, it's not in focus. I guess you'll just have to buy the book to see her better. Maybe I will even have Ada on to talk. Maybe I'll even have Naomi on to talk. Yes, I noticed that about my lives too when I was looking at old lives and listening to them is how many guests I've had. So I need to start doing that again. And I know Melody's watching. And Melody, I miss having you as my guest. You were my guest so many times, and you were such a good guest, but you just don't seem to want to anymore. Yes, Eric?
Where's the brown cabinet go?
What brown cabinet?
The one that was there.
What do you need out of it?
The shot glasses.
They're in that drawer over there.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I tried not to interrupt.
Okay, so next book, Women Who Talk to the Dead. This is not what you think it is. This is not a medium, ghosty, witchy book. This is about the true crime. Okay, the true story of 200 forgotten murder victims of the relentless pursuit of justice by an FBI agent and a Detroit police detective. Now, I have a friend, Meg, who was my guest before as well, and she lives in Ontario. But her family, half of them are from the other side, like in the States too, in the Detroit area, because it's right across the border. So Megan may really like this book, especially because she has relatives who live over in that area. But also, I mean, anybody could. This is a really, really interesting book. So let me read you the back. A true story of the largest exhumation of murder victims ever undertaken by the FBI, seeking justice for 200 families. Women Who Talk to the Dead chronicles the remarkable journey of the Detroit police detective Shannon Jones and FBI special agent Leslie Larson. Surrounded by skepticism and bureaucratic roadblocks, these women spearhead Operation United, the largest coordinated exhumation of unidentified murder victims in FBI history. Through rain-soaked cemetery digs, crumbling case files, and bone-filled body bags, Jones and Larson assembled a team led by female forensic anthropologists, scientists, and investigators who methodically unearthed Detroit's painful past. Their primary goal, to identify the nameless dead and bring closure to families who had spent decades wondering what happened to their loved ones. The ultimate goal, solve 200 murder cases. Catherine Schweet, a former journalist and Chicago prosecutor, served 20 years as an FBI agent. She is the author of Stop the Killing, How to End the Mass Shooting Crisis, and A Simple Guide to the Second Amendment. She brings her expertise in law enforcement and compelling storytelling about humans impacted by crime to this unprecedented true crime narrative. She lives outside Washington, D.C., where she continues to write, teach, and advocate for a better tomorrow. Catherine Schwitt. So it's crazy. The thing that made me so disgusted and frustrated with this book, it says dedication. The dedication is to that the unnamed are found. The thing that made me the most mad about this book is that the Detroit police service or something, they took a bunch of old files that was taking up room. So instead of getting them digitized or anything, they just destroyed them to get them out of storage, just to free up room, which is crazy because they were case files of things that could have been unsolved or whatever. So they had to go in and try and salvage as much as they could. Well, at the same time that other people were taking the boxes and cases away to get destroyed, they were trying to find as many of the cases that were unsolved. So it's just crazy. And so they did the dig, they did as much as they could, and they're still doing DNA testing and everything else on the things that they found during the dig. But it was a really, really interesting book, and I really enjoyed it. Next, these are all getting skinnier now. So, Can You Hear Me? And Can You Hear Me, Daddy? This one is very similar. It's like a shorter version of this one, and it's more of a picture book, but I'll just read the synopsis on both of them. So, sorry. Actually, I'll take a picture of both of them at the same time. Okay. Can you hear me? Can good things really come from bad things? Why does God allow bad things to happen? Is God punishing my daddy because of me? Will daddy still be able to hear me from heaven? These are just some of the questions Renee starts thinking about after she finds out that her daddy has cancer. She feels very sad and struggles to understand why this is happening. There's still so much they haven't done yet. All she can think to do is pray and ask God to make her daddy better. But when she realizes he isn't, she begins to wonder what God's plan is and whether God can hear her prayers at all. She documents all the things that are happening in her diary, and she watches her daddy go through the stages of cancer. Through this painful experience, she learns about the meaning of faith and how she can stay connected to her beloved father after he is gone. And then it says a discussion and reflection guide for this book is available for download. And it gives a website. About the author, YY Chan was born in Hong Kong but grew up in sunny Brisbane, Australia, where she had Christmas during summer. She returned to Hong Kong to teach English after graduating from university with first-class honors. She has an MA in English language teaching and has been teaching English for over 10 years. When her father passed away, she took a break from teaching to travel, read, and write. She now tutors English and works freelance for different educational institutes. Can You Hear Me Daddy is her debut picture book and winner of the Royal Dragonfly Book Award. When she is not writing or teaching, she is either reading or looking for more books to add to her overflowing bookshelf. So this one is not a picture book, but it's the longer version of this one here, which is the picture book. And this one says on the back, Can You Hear Me Daddy? Renee keeps a diary after she finds out her daddy is sick with cancer. She even starts praying and asking God to make him better, but what if he doesn't get any better? She is worried that she won't be able to talk to her daddy after he is gone, but her daddy encourages her to keep talking to him no matter what. But how will I know if you can hear me, she asks. Just have faith, her daddy answers. Even as he becomes sicker and weaker, she learns about the meaning of faith. She sees how her daddy is still able to experience peace and joy even during such a difficult time. This is a story about hope and how faith can bring us peace and comfort, knowing that death is not the end, but the beginning of an eternity with our loving Father in heaven. And then again, a discussion and reflection guide and coloring pages are available for download. So those ones, because I not only is it about like learning about how to deal with death for us adults, but it's important for us to learn about, to help children who experience loss and like how to deal with it as well. So these two are again by the same author. There's Is Daddy Coming Back in a Minute and What Happens to Daddy's Body. And the back of this one that comes first is Daddy Coming Back in a Minute. When we were on a No Girls Allowed holiday, my daddy's heart stopped beating and I had to find help all by myself. He was very badly broken. Not even the ambulance people could help him. This book tells the true story of the day Alex's daddy died and how his mother helped him to understand what happened. And these are the reviews, I guess. An incredibly determined individual, Elk Barber, recognized a need to share her story. That's by Oliver Jeffers, multi-award winning children's book author and illustrator and maker of Lost and Found. A beautiful book that will undoubtedly help so many. Richmond's Hope Bereavement Project. This book will be highly recommended on our suggested reading list, Winston's Wish. This book addresses the issue with courage, honesty, and truthfulness. Grief Encounter Project. Nominated for the CILIP. Kilip. Kate Greenaway Medal 2014. So Is Daddy Coming Back in a Minute? Explaining sudden death in words very young children can understand. So the Elk Barber is the author, and Alex Barber was the child. He's older now. Yeah, so that's a kid's book. And then this one is What Happened to Daddy's Body, explaining what happens after death in words very young children can understand. My daddy died when I was 1, 2, 3 years old. Today we are out in the garden. It always makes me think about my daddy because he loved his garden. Sometimes I wonder what happened to my daddy's body. This book tells the true story of what happened in the months after Alex's daddy died and how, with the help of his mother, Alex learned all about burial and cremation. And then the reviews say, exploring and sharing this book again and again with your child will become part of your journey of healthy grieving, says Steve Sweeney, Director of Bereavement Support Sector Scotland, Child Bereavement UK. Sensitive, caring, and developmentally appropriate, this book is a fantastic resource for explaining what happens to a person's body after death. Donna Hastings, Senior Bereavement Support Worker, Richmond's Hope Bereavement Project, told sensitively from the personal experience of Alex's daddy dying. This beautifully illustrated book explains cremation and burial in an age-appropriate language. Don Hewitt, CEO, Chum's Child Bereavement, Trauma and Emotional Well-Being Service. This book will be a great resource for anyone wanting to answer a child's questions after a death. Helen McKinnon, Director of Seesaw, Grief Support for Children and Young People. So those two were really quick and easy reads. The Green Witch Illustrated by Erin Murphy Hiscock, illustrated by Sarah Richard. So this is amazing. Includes new spells, recipes, and rituals into the magic of the natural witchcraft and enchanting immersion. So I have the Green Witch book, but this is the illustrated version. And my gosh, some of these witchy books, just for the illustrations, I tell you, I love them. Like, they are so beautiful. Some of the, I'm into art because I do art, but also it just makes it so much more enjoyable to read, books with pictures, just like when we were kids. But even showing you the different trees and everything else and then what they mean. So, it's a hardcover. It's really pretty. I like this one. Next, speaking of picture books, this is called Season of the Witch, a spellbinding history of witches and other magical folk. Flying Eye Books. Now, this I could not find in nonfiction. I could not find if this was a kid's book or not, but now that I've listened to it, it seems like it could be for all ages. And, I forgot to do that with the other ones, didn't I? Oh, I did it with those two. Okay, so, but I listened to it and it could be for all ages. I like this book because it's got, that's cool. But it tells about different beliefs in different parts of the world. So medieval magic, cauldrons and potions. Okay, wait, no, ancient Greek magic, ancient Egyptian magic, ancient Mesopotamian magic, a magical gathering, what a witch looks like, the Book of the Dead, Baba Yaga, my favorite. So it talks about just this kind of stuff in different parts of the world. South African magic. It's a very good introduction to all the different stuff of all in the world and how so much of it is similar. And it's crazy how we condemn people for things that are not worth condemning them for just for their beliefs. Now, I follow these on Instagram. I'm in the death positive stuff and, planning your funeral and all this stuff, right? There's this group that I follow on Instagram called, why does that happen when your brain just shuts off? Oh my gosh, Lisa, I can see them in my head. I tried to tell you guys about them before and the same thing happened. They are called Good Death. Of course, I'll put it in the comments, but I want to tell you what they are called. Anyways, try and think of it. They are all about natural, that you don't have to just be cremated or buried. You can do different types of things with the body at the end of life. Natural burials and different ways like that. Oh my God, this is making me crazy. I interact with them often enough that I should not forget their name. This is like forgetting one of your friends' names. It's not Good Death Legacies. What is it called? Anyways, they suggested the kids' books, which is where I got the About Daddy. The one, what was it called? About Is Daddy Coming Back in a Minute? And then when I was looking up for those ones, I found the Can You Hear Me ones. But another one that they talked about was a really old one that was from reprinted. So when was it first printed? New Zealand. So it says reprinted 2010. Oh, 2008, 2007, something like that. Okay, so it's not as old as I thought it was, but I still got a hardcover copy of it. It's called Duck, Death, and the Tulip by Wolf Earlbrush. You can tell me how that's supposed to be pronounced. So Duck, Death, and the Tulip. Yes, and let's see what it says. The most extraordinary picture book I've seen in many a year, Patrick Ness. I can't think of another book that tackles so huge a subject with such a simple, heartbreaking eloquence. Meg Rozoff. Warm, poignant, and witty. Anthony Brown. This book is so short that I'm going to read it to you right now. All right. Ready? If I can turn the pages. Okay. Duck. Duck, Death, and the Tulip by Gecko Press. For a while now, Duck has had a feeling. Who are you? What are you up to? Creeping along behind me. Good, said Death. You finally noticed me. I am Death. Duck was scared stiff, and who could blame her? You've come to fetch me? Oh, I've been close by all your life, just in case. In case of what? Asked Duck. In case something happens to you. A nasty cold, an accident, you never know. Are you going to make something happen? Life takes care of that. The coughs and colds and all the other things that happen to you, ducks. Fox, for example. Duck tried not to think about that. It gave her goosebumps. Death gave her a friendly smile. Actually, he was nice. If you forgot for a moment who he was, really quite nice. Shall we go down to the pond, she asked. Death had been dreading that. Before long, Death decided that he had had his limits. Forgive me, he said. I really must get away from this damp. Are you cold? Duck asked. Shall I warm you a little? Nobody had ever offered to do that for Death. You guys can see the images. Duck woke first, very early in the morning. I'm not dead, she thought to herself. She poked Death in the ribs. I'm not dead, she quacked, utterly delighted. I'm pleased for you, Death said, stretching. And if I died, then I wouldn't have been able to sleep in, Death yawned. That wasn't a nice thing to say, thought Duck. For a while, she refused to speak, but soon she was chattering again. Some ducks say you become an angel and sit on a cloud looking over the earth. Quite possible, Death rose to his feet. You have the wings already. Some ducks say that deep in the earth there's a place where you'll be roasted if you haven't been good. You ducks come up with some amazing stories, but who knows? So you don't know either? Duck snapped. Death just looked at her. What shall we do today? Death asked. Well, let's not go back to the pond. Let's do something really exciting. Death was relieved. Shall we climb a tree? He teased. They could see the pond far below. There it lay, so still and so lonely. That's what it will be like when I'm dead, Duck thought. The pond alone without me. Death could sometimes read minds. When you're dead, the pond will be gone too, at least for you. Are you sure? Duck was astonished. As sure can be, Death said. That's a comfort. I won't have to mourn over it when you're dead. Death finished the sentence. He wasn't coy about the subject. Let's climb down, Duck pleaded after a bit. You can start having strange thoughts in trees. Oh, missed some words there. Summer was ending, and they went less and less often to the pond. They sat together in the grass, saying little. When a cool wind ruffled her feathers, Duck felt its chill for the first time. I'm cold, she said one evening. Will you warm me a little? Snowflakes drifted down. Something had happened. Death looked at the duck. She'd stopped breathing. She lay quite still. Death stroked a few rumpled feathers back into place. Then he carried her to the great river. He laid her gently on the water and nudged her on her way. For a long time he watched her. When she was lost to sight, he was almost a little moved. But that's life, thought Death. Then it shows death with fox and rabbit. That is that book. So take it or leave it, whatever you thought of it. I've gone through all the books now. I've gone through everything. We're at probably at an hour or more. Yes, 1 hour and 10 minutes. So one more thing to show you guys, and then that'll be it for this week. I hope that you guys do enjoy your Halloween and have a great Halloween. You know it's one of my favorite times of the year, and I will definitely get back into it when I'm feeling it. But you know what? Down days are allowed. We're allowed to feel them and get through them. This is the last thing I'm going to show you guys. My friend Terry Arnold has started doing felt art in the last few years, and last year I showed you guys pumpkins that I bought off of her. She made me this witch starting last year around Halloween, but after she finished it, I just hadn't picked it up until just before I went to Canada to bring my mom home. I went and picked up this witch. I need to put a string or something on her, like something to hang her. So, but her broom is separate and really cute. And then she's got mushrooms, and she's got feathers here, and then feathers here, or a feather there, and then some beadwork and stuff. She's really beautifully done. She was made just for me. She's got great hair with different colors, and I'm really happy with her. I haven't given her a name yet, and like I said, I want to have it so that I can hang her up, but I thought I would share her with you guys. 2 witches. So from me and my little witchy friend here, I thank you guys for tuning in. I love you guys. Hope you enjoyed the Rambling Hour. And I'm excited, like I said, before the 30 days is done and this Rambling Hour is gone from Facebook, I will have uploaded and caught up to all of them on YouTube. And then I might even find out how to do live from YouTube at the same time as doing live from Facebook. So all my back catalog will be up, and you guys can watch all of the old ones, including my old Halloween specials and Halloween crafts and Halloween things in the kitchen. But even though Halloween is almost here and almost over, we'll be into November doing autumn stuff. And then before you know it, we'll be doing Christmas stuff, which again, if you want that right now to do some Christmas baking or Christmas crafts to get them ready for Christmas presents or whatever, you can also look back at my old Rambling Hours. So that I'm going to say that group that I'm trying to think of on Instagram is Dead Good Legacies. But if it's not, I'm sorry. I'll for sure tell you next week what it is. I'm going to write it down. And then also, I can't remember exactly what my Rambling Hour page is called on YouTube. I'm sure if you looked up Rambling Hour or Rambling Hour with Lisa on YouTube, you would find it. And like I said, all 15 first seasons are there, and we're on season 19. So I'm almost done and caught up. All right. Like I said, love you guys. Hope you guys have a great week, and we will see you next Sunday. Melody says, love you too. Thanks, Melody. And also next Saturday, like coming up, is the Bridgewater Carnival that we go down to near Somerset. Well, it's in Bridgewater, with Steve's dad. Oops, sorry. With Steve's dad. And, you know, those huge, I dropped her. Those huge floats with all the lights and everything else. And there's fireworks, and there's obviously, well, that's a parade that we go to, but there's the carnival as well. But anyways, that's next Saturday, but Steve has a football game on Sunday that he needs to get to. So we're going to come home early Sunday. So I should be able to do my live with no problems, but I don't know how much time I'll have to prepare for anything specific. But I will see you guys next Sunday. All right. I love you guys. Again, have a great week, and thanks for tuning in. Happy Halloween.